7 years vegan, what I would tell my non-vegan self if I could go back in time. Don't mock or be mean to others that eat differently. I had two vegetarian cousins at the time, and I remember making kind of silly jokes and stuff like that, and I regret it. I apologize for it now. Obviously, I've taken it a step further by going vegan, and it was a mistake. If I could change that, I would, and hopefully it's a lesson to other people as well. Just because there's one person at the table eating differently, it's not a reason to go and make fun or make jokes about that person. Human behavior is weird in that, in many cases, the minority is kind of made fun, and it's stupid. I was actually bullied as a school child, and yeah, it's not nice. So don't do it. I won't do it. I won't be doing it ever again. Number two, ask questions to those that eat differently and be open to the possibility of maybe learning a thing or two. Don't just assume, don't just think that you know what somebody's doing or why they're eating a certain thing because you think you know, because chances are you probably don't. And just asking questions, learning from someone else can be a really good thing. You might learn something new. You might open up a whole new avenue in your life, like potentially going vegan or something like that. Be open to the possibility. Number three, being an animal lover and also being a hypocrite. I always consider myself an animal lover, and I realized that I was being a hypocrite. It takes learning information, as I mentioned just before, to realize this. And ask yourself, I should have asked myself this a long time ago. If I had a lamb or a chicken and somebody gave me a knife, would I kill it? And the answer is no, because it would be horrible. I wouldn't like to do it. I wouldn't want to do it. Yes, I probably could, but I wouldn't want to, and I wouldn't want to do it on a regular basis in order to have food on my plate. So the answer is no. And can you be an animal lover and eat animals? No. You cannot pay someone else to kill them on your behalf and just not get your hands dirty. That's not how it works. Yes, I understand that's what goes on in modern day society, but nah, come on. It's out there, it's happening. Innocent animals are being trucked off to slaughterhouses and cut up. Murdered and cut up for nothing other than taste, and that's on you if you pay for it. Number four, don't just eat stuff and eat a certain way because other people do. It's a stupid reason to keep doing something. And yes, I was guilty of that too. I used to stand around a barbecue with a beer, throw meat on the barbecue, covered in oil, terribly unhealthy. And I used to say that I like steak. Looking back on it now, I didn't. It's just because other people said it, and I thought that that's what I liked, and I thought that's what you're meant to like. And to some degree, it was probably trying to fit in, like in many cases in life. And now I realize that that's stupid. If you don't like doing a certain thing, or you like, like chewing on a often charred or very chewy piece of meat with not much flavor to it. I'd often put sauce on it, or you'd buy the marinated steak because that tasted better because it had sauce on it. And that's stupid because meat by itself doesn't really taste that great. It's the other things that make it taste good. So if the other things are what it makes it taste good, are what makes it taste good, then let's eat those things with healthier options. Looking back, it's really silly, but that's life. You can't change the past. And yes, I would definitely tell myself to just not conform and not just try and fit in, because that's what blokey Kiwis do. Stand around a barbecue and throw meat on the barbecue and drink class 1 carcinogen alcohol. Dumb. Don't do that, please. Think for yourself, and if you don't like eating a certain thing, stand up and say it. Be confident. Back yourself. Last but not least, be open to the possibility that someone knows better than you, and you may have been wrong. I really came to grips with that when I realized that potentially my parents had taught me wrong, and that eating what we were eating then, meat, dairy and eggs and all sorts, was wrong. Wrong in the sense that animals die unnecessarily for nothing other than taste, and also because those foods contribute to the world's top human killers. Heart disease and cancer, meat, dairy and eggs. Do away with them and you can reverse a lot of diseases. So that's clear that those foods are what is causing it. So yeah, be open to the possibility that just because you've done something for a decade, 2 decades, 3 decades, doesn't mean that it was right. Doesn't mean that it's morally right. Doesn't mean that it's healthy. Be open to the fact that it might be a thing, and chances are it probably is. if you're non-vegan, you're watching this, then hey, think about it objectively. Think about where your health's going to be in 10 years. Think about the fact that your arteries, if you're consuming a lot of cholesterol, animal products, etc., then your arteries and everything else are likely to get blocked, and you might just drop dead of a heart attack because it's not food for us. It's very simple. That is some of the things, the main ones. Have you got any others that you would love to tell your non-vegan self? Please leave them in the comments. Thanks for watching.